Johnny Carson began his broadcasting career in 1950 at WW Radio and Television in Omaha, now known as WWT. Carson soon hosted a morning television program called The Squirrel's Nest. One of his routines involved interviewing pigeons on the roof of the local courthouse that would report on the political corruption they had seen. Carson supplemented his income by serving as a master of ceremonies at local church dinners, attended by some of the same politicians and civic leaders he had lampooned on the radio. Hi, I'm Mark Renner from Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. I'm known as Mr. Omaha, and that's my logo in the upper corner of the screen, and I've been voted the outstanding agent in Omaha twice. One of the reasons I'm called Mr. Omaha, and we'll do it on another video sometime, is because of my knowledge of the city and the people that I have introduced the city to who were thinking of transferring here. But one of my favorite entertainers and people from Omaha, and we'll again do videos in the future about other famous people from Omaha, was Johnny Carson. And there was a story that my dad told about Johnny Carson that I thought sounded very appropriate, and I wanted to share it with you. My dad had a real estate office that was just up the street from WWT. His little strip shopping center office was in the same place that the Keywood Center is now. My dad's name was Bill, and his best friend was the station manager at WWT, and his name was Bill. So one day my dad walked down at lunchtime, walked down to the television station, because station manager Bill and he were going to go to lunch together. And while he was in the television station, Johnny Carson walked by, young man. And station manager Bill said, "Johnny, come here. I want to introduce you to a good friend of mine." So he introduced Johnny to my dad, Bill. And station manager Bill said to Johnny, "Johnny, say something funny." Well, it happened to be payday, and of course everybody wore coat and ties back then. So Johnny said, "Well, I don't know if I can say something funny, but I'll show you something funny." And he opened his sports jacket and pulled out his paycheck and waved it in the face of station manager Bill and said, "Now that's funny." Well, that was the kind of humor that Johnny had, and he displayed that kind of humor throughout his career. And the reason why I know that story is true is because in the 70s, I was visiting my dad in Los Angeles, and he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I'd like to go to the Johnny Carson show tonight." And he said, "How are you going to do that?" And I said, "I don't know, Dad. You'll have to figure it out." Well, my dad had the gift of gab, and he got on the phone and got all the way to Johnny's secretary and said to Johnny's secretary, "I met Johnny when he worked at WW in Omaha and worked for Bill McBride." And the secretary said, "Yes, I remember those names. Johnny has talked about them." He said, "Well, let me tell you a Johnny Carson story about when I met him. And if it sounds like Johnny, can you give my kids a couple of tickets?" And the secretary said, "Okay." So he told Johnny's secretary that story, and she laughed. And she said, "That is totally Johnny's humor. Your kids will have 2 tickets waiting for them at the box office tonight." So I know that's a true story. We'll be doing I have another great Johnny Carson story that I'll tell in a video in the future. And we'll also be doing some videos on famous people from Omaha, like Fred Astaire, Marlon Brando, and other people that you may not have known. So we'll handle that later. Again, I'm Mark Renner from Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. My contact information is streaming below. If you have any real estate questions, real estate needs, if you want to think about buying a house, talk about selling your house, anything like that, please give me a call. My phone number is 402-690-1687, and my email is mark@markrenner.com. Again, I thank you very much for watching today, and have a great day. Be safe.